Good evening. It is a Monday night, which makes a wee change for us. But yesterday was Father's Day, and seeing as we're both of the male species, and currently with
He's messing up already.
children. How?
Male's not a
Oh,
species.
It is these days. It is these days. They're treated like one.
Banned.
They're treated like a cleansed one.
Sorry, continue. I was too early for me to be a willy.
No, aye. So tonight we bring you this class episode of Jibber Jabber Podcast on a Monday night. It's about the film, which its original title, by the way, in Slovakian is Svetlonok, which means light night. I know nightlight. A light night. That's what it means. But the fine folks that decided to change the name for the English version is they named it Nightsiren, which we've got a lot to unpack here, J Mac. The reason being is, I mean, how often do we watch films that's on in Slovakian or other languages, Italian and whatnot? We don't tend to watch them all the time, so it's good when we get a wee bit of culture.
We tend to only do it when we get sent them. Well, I would say you do. I'm more adventurous. I do stick on the occasional foreign film.
Aye, okay. Apocalypto, mate. One of my favourite films. Can't I mean? Janice is in the house. Hello, Janice. Nice to hear from you tonight. Hope you are well. So, I was quite interested in watching this film, especially from the poster and Matthew Mann's thoughts on it. He was like, a lot of shahooby wibbies in it. No keen on the bald chick. Is that because she's bald? So we're gonna talk.
The man's no taste, man. She was beautiful. It was just
better with a wig on, definitely.
Obviously.
Yeah, do you think it was like a bald cap or an actual wig in real life?
I really hope they didn't do that to that poor lassie's head just for a film.
No.
Although it is an independent, so it's like, would you be willing to get a haircut for your role? A haircut, no problem. Tick shows up on the day, they're like,
aye. But the thing is, I think if there was anybody that was gonna like pull off having a decent look with a bald head, it definitely was this actress Natalia Germani.
Yeah, she's very pretty. I like that.
Aye, like she pulls off having a bald head, which is no words I thought I'd really
So did I.
saying. Oh no! Before we get into the nooks and crannies of this film, I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer so you all know what we're talking about. And over to the trailer.
Si prišla až teraz?
Si tá pozorka?
Čo je? Čo sa to stalo? Je to tu zakliaté. Nie, nechápeš. Kto zapálil Mavinu trevenicu? Otila? Nevyslovujem meno, lebo ju privoláš. Keď bol spel, tak sa tam pri ohni pretrčali nahé. Kto vie, čo tam robili. Čo sa tam stalo? Kde je to decko? Aj tak ti nič nepoviem! Vypadni, ty svina! My sme na rozdiel od teba slušní. Čo od nás vlastne chceš?
Aye.
We'll get in trouble for that one, no?
I don't know, because it wasn't us. Like, that wasn't actually us that done that. That was the trailer.
Well, we'll find out in a minute. It was nice knowing you if this is the end of the show.
For anybody listening in the audio archives, there was boobs, not for the first time on the Jibber Jabber podcast. Certainly won't be the last.
You have 2 every week.
Janice says, yesterday was Father's Day here. Same here, Janice. I think we share the same Father's Day, but we don't share the same Mother's Day, if I'm correct.
That's funny, that, isn't it?
I
wonder why that is.
Women get 2 days and we get 1.
Oh,
Order, man. Ugh, that's right, order. Janice also says, I look good with a bald head. Well, if you do, Janice.
No, for a minute there, I thought she'd actually written heed, and I was like, oh, that would have been brilliant. Janice said heed.
Janice, pics or it didn't happen. You need to send us a picture of you with a bald head and we'll bring it up. Well, if you don't want us to bring it up on the show, that's totally fine. But we need to see it. We'll be you had a baldy before, Janice. It looks good. Well, I'll take your word for it. Send us a photo of you with a shiny napper.
I think she's talking about the film. I've got a sneaky suspicion it might have been in reaction to the trailer. She's not just bragging. I look cracking. Anyway.
Matthew says, evening fellas, forgot you're on tonight. Footy's on. Oh, we're competing with the footy. Well, it's nice.
No, we're not. He must be watching some. In fact, I think it's France and Austria playing tonight. So who are you rooting for? Like a give a fuck.
French, because I've got a favourite French writer, and his name is Quarks. But that's not what we need to talk about. This film was it was directed by a woman called Teresa Novotva.
You're doing well tonight, Kevin.
Did I actually do all right? Yeah.
You're doing well.
She has other classics such as Filthy, New York v. Case Coroni, and Mejia. These are some of her previous.
You were doing all right tonight, Kev.
What? What one did I say wrong?
Like I know how to pronounce it. Shut up. Move on.
See, that's just it. The difference is I'm out here in the spotlight like that. No, man, I've got to say something. So I get it wrong.
I can only see the first 2 rows. It's all right.
Pretty much. What did you?
I remember that. It was when I was on stage on the cruise ship, playing my wee song, and I didn't realise how many folk were in there. Like, because you can only see the front 2 rows, and then I made a joke. Got this massive laugh, and I was like, "Oh my god, this place is full!" And I was like that playing the guitar, I was shaking like.
Shiting yourself, classic Jay Mack form.
Laying a brick, man. Oh, I had an anxiety dream this morning. I woke up at 5 to 6, and then I fell asleep again. And when I fell asleep again, I had a dream that after we showed a film at Bathgate Cinema, which is now closed, but didn't put that together in my head. We showed a film, and then after that, I was going up to do stand-up, but I hadn't written anything, so I was shiting myself. So I was like, I'm just going to go out and take the piss out of the crowd. But like, I looked at the crowd and I was like, well, there's a guy who looks like Timmy Mallet. There's loads of things that I could pick on just to get things moving. Then I thought, I'll tell the story about when I shat myself at work. That will go down a fucking storm. And then just before I went on stage, my shoes fell apart.
You were spitting your teeth out or not?
Oh, I've had that before. I had a dream once where I was spitting my teeth out, and then I looked in the mirror and my teeth had changed into orange peels. Another one where I was pulling out bits of jawbone and everything. It was rotten.
I remember
Janice will know. She'll know what the dreams mean.
She says, I don't have one anymore. That was back in 2010. Aye, but you'll have a photo. Skinny. I didn't assume you're still slapping.
Never had cameras in 2010, man. What are you talking about?
Aye, fair dues. I've had dreams where I get chased by somebody, and I can't run, so I run backwards and I go much quicker. I've had dreams where I could just fly, and those were the best type of dreams. And then you realise they're a dream, and you're like, no.
You wake up, you're like, sick.
I know, it's like, Steve, this wasn't a dream. It would have been class, man. Absolute class. So, a film that might have wanted to have been a dream at certain points. Nightsiren, Jay Mack, without really going too much into it, give me your overall feeling on Nightsiren.
What I've found is that as I'm getting older, when it comes to horror films, I like to watch a horror film that's a bit more grounded in reality and in the way that blind belief and folklore can make people behave in totally irrational ways. And I love
it.
There's a fair bit of that in this film. So
Yeah, think.
I quite enjoyed it.
What I liked about it was the fact that they never confirm witches or nothing like that. So you're still left, like, you know, like it would have been back then. Well, she's a witch. Why? Because she farted. What people don't do that, so she's a witch. So
She farted and it wasn't smelly. She's a witch, man.
there was parts in this film where it's like, oh, they've stolen the children, burn them. It's like, where's the evidence here?
It's like settle down. They might just be
Settle
in a den somewhere. You know, we all like to make dens when we were kids, or forts, or whatever. We like to fashion things and just hide out in them all day. And although when those kids went missing, I was like, well, that's what you get for being an irresponsible parent, you big prick. But anyway, we'll come to
Oh, there's that. Do you think they ran away? They did.
I don't
Probably
know.
ran away. Well, they were getting smashed on the daily.
Aye. Beaten. They were getting beat. They were getting beaten. Getting smashed is a different thing.
That we know of. They were getting never rule out the latter.
I hope they weren't getting smashed. Let's put it that way.
So we're going to try and by the way, this is available. This is available right now. Look at that! Another beautifully packaged piece.
That's
of
very
gear,
nice.
man.
If the guys at Arrow feel like sending us a copy each just to say thanks for doing these podcasts, that'd be lovely.
Mate, they send us the films. We're thanking them. Hey, the thing is though,
I know,
here's
but
a
I like to
question.
hold it in my hand. I like to hold it in my
Here's
hand.
something,
And the movies.
aye, same. One thing I'll say: did you like this film enough to spend about 18 smackaroonies on the physical release?
Bring it up again.
That's not even part of the question.
Aye, I would actually like it as a talking point.
Uh-huh.
I would have it sitting out, so because people would go, "What's that Nightsiren? I've never heard of that." And I'll say, "Well, mate, have a look at this," and I can go, "Look how nice that is. It's beautiful." How was the film? It's not bad.
That's no bad.
It's not bad.
But are you parting with 18 quid?
At this point in the month, probably not. But maybe when I get paid.
You ain't buying that. Don't talk shit.
Yeah, I bought Pandemonium.
Same, because I loved Pandemonium. I think for me, the film has to really have me leave going, oh, that was great. I want to talk about it. I want to watch more of it. If you do that, that justifies it. Nightsiren was good, but I don't think for me that I'll buy the physical release. I would happily accept the physical release as a gift and be very happy with it. But I'm going to save my my tokens for future Arrow releases. And that is, again, that is no shade on the film. It is just as who I am and this type of films I love. And don't get me wrong, I did like this. For me to go out and get it physically, I really need to be jumping about it. And there were several things in here where I was like, like I felt that in this film there were scenes that went on quite long that was just like of somebody like washing their hair. And I'm like, why are we still watching you wash your hair? Do you know what I mean?
Probably because you had nice boobs.
Did I say I wasn't going to buy the physical release?
But washing her hair was easy for her. She gets to take it off first.
I know. So
none of this nonsense.
So here's another thing as well. See, for the main character. The main character, what was her name again? It was Sarlotta, which is like Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Right, so I kind of looked at it as that. So the main character, she's a child. She's kicking about with her sister, who she then accidentally, because she wasn't, I don't think it was malice, right?
No, not at all.
She knocks her wee sister off a cliff.
Was your heart knowing your throat?
Aye, because the wee lassie just wanted to play with her.
But she was trying to run away. They were trying to run away, or she was trying to run away from home. Our sister was following her.
Yeah,
and She's like, this isn't a spoiler, by the way. It happens right at the beginning. So,
it happens at the beginning, so it's no spoiler. That's a fucking spoiler.
that's not a spoiler.
John Connor gets shot in Dark Fate right away.
I fucking wasted time now. But I've changed my opinion on that film. But I think what really made my guts turn with that is the fact that it shows you how easily something like that could happen. It's why our parents always says to us when we were kids, don't play at the burn, don't play at this, don't play at that. And we could see no danger as it as kids. But if you go back and look at situations that you put yourself in as a kid now, you'd probably be like, what the fuck am I doing? Well, I would be. I don't know about you. You're a different kettle of fish, man.
Tomato. I've actually been saying I've only broke one bone continuously, like more than once, and it's the same bone. So I actually
What do you keep doing? What do you keep doing over and over again that you keep breaking the same bone? Enough said.
Many years ago.
It's like, but it's all right. I broke more bones on other people while doing it.
Facts. The thing is, so I was actually quite a safe child. I was I was sensible in unsensible situations.
Get on a t-shirt. I was a safe child. I'm fucking mental now.
No, actually, I'm the least mental probably I've ever been. But pardon me. So she kind of throws her off by accident by being like, get away from me, which is strange because you would have thought, like, if you were being not necessarily abused, but if you were having a shit time at home, you would think that you would be closer with your siblings, a burden shared kind of thing. But she's just like, hey, go on, you fuck off, man. The lassie falls off a cliff, and she's like, no. Then we get the time moves on, and I don't know if it was just me. And by the way, I watched this film several times very late at night. So there was points where I was starting to doze off, and I was like, I'll need to come back to this tomorrow night. And I did, and I even went further back and rewatched parts I'd already watched. So, well, I'll do that again. I rewatched parts I'd already watched. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, but I did rewatch parts, but it wasn't those parts. It was just basically like 10 minutes before I remember. Do you know? Like, I remember this part, so I'll go 10 minutes back just to get back in the groove. So it took me a couple of times just purely based on my lifestyle and how busy I am and how knackered I was when I went to watch it. So I might have missed a few things. I might have left it open to, I might have missed a few things. But I kind of picked up on everything I was supposed to. So there's a reveal. I don't want to really ruin it. So it's going to be hard to talk about these bits. I felt that I stayed gripped. See, we always say this when there's films that we are watching that are of another language and we have to read, right? The best ones are the ones you forget you're reading. I did forget I was watching this.
Yeah.
And I loved it that it was set in like a wee village of like foragers almost way back in the day. And what you said about the characters just blindly believing something. And it's like they were also very stubborn as well. Nah, she's a witch. That's it. Okay, what if I prove to you you're no witch? You're still a witch.
Well, that's how witches. That's what happened to them throughout history. It's like she's a witch. How will we test it? Chuck her in the river. If she floats, she's a witch. If she drowns, she's no a witch. Who wins out of that? Do you know what I mean? who actually wins in that scenario? It's like, oh, that's a shame. Oh, it was Melanie. That's a shame. She was really nice.
I like Melanie. Oh no! Oh no!
It's like, oh no! Oh no! What happened? Oh no! I love that guy. I don't even know who he is. Don't know the guy's name. He showed up recently in a meme, and I was like, "Oh, I'm loving this." Oh, it's like when a customer tells you they'll never be back in the store. Oh no! Oh my! Oh no! What happened? Oh
no! Well, that happened. I couldn't quite figure the end out, but we'll get to that. Visually beautiful. Actors, actresses, all great. They all made you
I
feel
would
the
I
way
would
you
love
should
to
feel.
know. I would love to know what the budget was on this film, because
It was $1.5 million.
right, so we're climbing up in the echelons of budget now.
Mhm.
Right, okay, you can tell, and it was all spent in the right places. 100%. There was no money wasted. That's the thing with independent films. There's
Mhm.
never money wasted where it doesn't have to be spent. Like when you hear that
Yeah.
a movie costs, like every big Hollywood movie now costs at least $200 million for a big movie, right? And then something like Godzilla -1 shows up. Godzilla -1. Something
Great
like that
film,
shows
man.
up. It really was. Something like that shows up with special effects that are the same caliber as everything that's getting pissed out of Hollywood right now.
Mhm.
And it was done for an absolute fraction of the budget. That cost 15 million. 15 million to make Godzilla
Mate.
-1. And you can tell every penny was properly accounted for. There was no backhanders. There was no paying mates to do stuff. Well, not paying the wrong mates to do stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't want to make it political, but like the Tories giving a pub landlord a PPE contract because that Tory went to that pub. It's like, he's a pub landlord. He doesn't make things. You've given him a PPE contract. Wanker.
Yeah.
Right. On that note, 4th of July, general election, don't vote Tory. Fuck them. Felt good. So, no, you can see the money's been well spent here. And yeah, I don't think, for the type of film that it is, I don't think they could have spent the money any better. I don't think they could have made a better film on that budget. They did the absolute best that they could on that.
Oh,
and I was
amazing.
impressed.
No, definitely. Visually, just everything, even the trippy scenes. If you are not going to buy this from the Arrow store, you can indeed go to the Arrow player where you can get yourself a wee free trial, or you get the free trial and then
Battle Royale's on there.
Yes, right.
I love that film so much.
Not only, there you go, see, like $4.99 per month after your free trial. Like that's a coffee. I mean,
that's mad when you think about it the way that like, a coffee costs £5.
Actually, $4.99 a month.
Pisses me off. Like when I was growing up, coffee was drunk by dads. Only dads drunk coffee. Now you've got kids walking about 11, 12-year-old with iced coffee. Like, you're just a wee wanker, mate. There's nothing cool about what you're doing. You're just a wee wanker, and you're always going to be a wee wanker and keep enjoying being a wee wanker. That's when you tell me that you buy your kids coffees all the time, innit?
No, I don't. But not coffee. I'll get them wee frappies and stuff, but they're not actual coffee in it. So,
but that's just so you can have a coffee when the kids are there, and you buy them something to appease them. Yeah, you buy them something to appease them, and you can get your coffee because you're a dad, and that's absolutely fine.
Correct.
But can't be arsed with Costa Starbucks or that shit. Can't be arsed.
Costa is not actually anywhere good. Cafe Nero is actually the best place to go.
This week's episode is brought to you by Cafe Nero.
Cafe Nero, honestly, they're phenomenal. I get so much like near enough free coffee for there. It's so good.
Nero enough.
Nero enough. Back when we were kids, J Mac, 11-year-olds would be drinking Stella and Budweiser. Now it's fucking Starbucks.
At least that money was going to a good cause. Getting bossed.
Okay. You just go to www.arrows-player.com and sign up today for your 2-week free trial, and then it's $4.99 a month. Come on, I spend about £5 or £6 on a coffee minimum once a week. Right, so there's no excuses, lads. If you drink a coffee, gee up the chaff for one day, enjoy a full month of fucking class cult classics. No, I might get a month, man.
Oh, once you start paying for that.
Aye. How do you really feel, Jay? Laughing my ass off.
Exactly like that, Janice.
I'll tell you. If it's about the Tories, he thinks that the Tories and our country do this
to the country.
To the country.
Tories are the American version of Republicans, but you can't compare Republicans to Tories because our political systems are so different. So it's not even worth going down that road. Because at the moment I tend to be more on the Republican side than the other side, the Democrat side in America. Now it's just so far out of whack. Everything's bananas.
Aye. So as you can see here, this is the sis. Well, no, I was about to ruin it there. I don't want to do that.
Oh, how could you have possibly spoiled it with half a word? Sis.
Sorry, forget I said anything. So after all these years, Charlotta returns to her town, right? Because she was sent letters by someone we don't know who it was, right? And you can see here, these two are the actual sisters, though, when they were younger, weren't they?
Nope.
No, they're me. They look so young there, though. No, this isn't a flashback. These are two actual people. This is Charlotta and her friend, Mira, who has existed within that town. Now, there's flashbacks, by the way, of the woman that they believed to be, what was the name of the witch again? It was
Otalia. Otila. Aye, that's right. Yeah, I got it wrong. There he goes again with his mad zoom.
So, Otila, she got done the fuck in. Why? Because they thought she was a witch. Because what? I don't think we got to see enough of what happened to her and why.
All you have to be accused of being a witch is to be an outsider. Just to be an outsider, not to involve yourself with the town shenanigans.
Matthew, no need to go see it now, folks. Enjoy that coffee. I never gave anything away.
I'm starting to wonder if Arrow actually watch these.
They do. Oh, do you mean tune into the podcast? I thought you meant the films.
Oh, no, I meant this podcast.
Sometimes. I saw Otila, right? Am I to believe that woman was Otila? Because they talk about her still roaming the forests. This is why I need to speak to you, because I feel this is a type of film that you should have conversations about once it's done to see if we'd get in the same thing. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
Pandemonium was like that. And still is, and it was interesting talking to Quarks. And I was saying to him, what I got from it, and he's like, "It's very interesting," right? Because what he had written and what I interpreted were
he's like, "No, I just thought it was funny. I did not give any thought to what you've said, but it is a good theory. I like it. I like your theory, and if you fuck it, I will go with it."
No, but it made sense to me. But within this, are we to believe Otila was the woman that got smashed?
Trying to remember how it played out.
She got tied to a tree, smashed with sticks.
Yeah.
So are we to believe, because they still spoke about her?
Yeah.
Was it though? Well, she was credited. There's a woman credited as Otila, right? And
so
they're saying she's a witch, but they done her in. So what they scared of?
Well, if you notice during the trailer, I noticed that they said these woods are haunted. Right. So it's her spirit is still there causing havoc.
With what evidence?
None. You don't need. You need no evidence when it comes to folklore and faith. That's the amazing thing about folklore and faith. It requires no evidence. It requires, and no matter how many scientific advances we make as a society, folk think still that there's a big man in the sky that gets angry when you touch yourself. Mental. The way it's the same thing with folklore. Religion and folklore, same shit.
My free pass. Do you know what my free pass is? Well, you made me like this. So if you didn't like this, why did you make me like this?
I can't mess with free will. Shut up, cop out.
And then the folk at my door are like, "We're here for your safety." I'm joking. Joke. That was a joke. We joke.
I'm recording for your safety and my safety. No to get clicks and likes on social media.
Speaking of which, when's Andy Gibb coming on?
No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do an in-person.
I know he's a different breed.
So that'll be a good in person. So Otila, her story kind of weaves in and out of the main story, but you don't actually see the conclusion. If anything, I thought she was hella sound, and probably
Seemed to be
the opposite of a witch. You know, very caring.
But again, this is something that goes back years and years. You'll have there was women who used like herbal medicines and stuff to cure people and stuff, and then the villagers and doctors were like, "Oh, no, she's a witch. She's doing me out of money." And, everything comes back to money. It really does. Like if I knew that instead of having to go and buy it, so not buy, because I live in Scotland, we have an NHS that provides prescriptions for free. But if you live down south or in America, God forbid, when it comes to prescriptions, if you knew that you could go down to your local forest, chew up some leaves and swallow them, and it would cure your cancer, doctors wouldn't like that. Big Pharma wouldn't like that. You're a witch.
You're a witch. And the way they do that these days is they just get you cancelled on social media, call you a supremacist or something like that.
Supremacist or giving misinformation. Yeah, all that shabazz. So
it's art imitating life, right?
Yeah.
Realistically. So I'm to believe that Stone Cold went Stone Cold because she was pulling her hair out because she was raging, right?
She had mental health issues because she knocked her fucking sister off a cliff, which is understandable. You know what I mean? Just because you're bald doesn't mean you're a witch. Unless it's Roald Dahl.
I didn't get that. I felt that she was doing that because her child may or may not.
I think that it's compounding issues. She knocked her sister off a cliff. She had a her shortage, and yeah, she wasn't in a good place. But like, she's a witch. Burn the witch. Burn the witch.
Get her down, shall we get down the new let's watch this. The thing is, though, I felt that this character, the main character, Charlotta, I did not like, based on what I already knew, minus the miscarriage. That's not her fault, right? But the whole throwing the wee sister off a cliff,
knocking.
Same thing. She's away off a cliff. And
no, it was clearly an accident. Can I be accusing poor Charlotta of being a murderer when it was clearly an accident?
Fair dues. But she just kind of ran away. I believe that she was out of order when it came to how she treated her wee sister. So automatically I was like, if bad stuff happens to you, I'm not calling for it, but I'm not completely like, oh no, Charlotta, no. You know?
Okay.
I felt like sometimes you get characters that are conflicted, but they do some pretty crappy things, right? I'm trying to think of a good example of a film where the main character is a bit of an arse, and you're sitting there going, I'm not rooting for you. Like, I'm genuinely not. But yet you're supposed to. You're feeling like, oh, I should be rooting for you. If anything, her wee pal was far nicer, Mira, because she, from the moment that Charlotta came back to the town, she looked after her. And the ending scene with Mira, I'm not too sure. How do you go from sitting on a chair with everything that's going on around you to just chilling in the water with your pal? I'm thinking.
Well, I think based on what was going on around her, I wouldn't mind being in some water after that.
Yeah, but does she die? Is she dead? Is she? Like...
I don't know, because Charlotta had a different haircut, which actually suit her, by the way. It's very rare for a woman to suit that haircut. And
what, you're talking about the one where she got a couple of strands and a bald head?
No. right, skipping ahead slightly, but in the very last scene, she's got like a wee kind of shoulder cut length hair,
I've always thought that's nice. Yeah.
which tends to make women look quite bitchy, in my opinion. But not in her case. But she had a nice strong jawline to go with. I think I figured out why I liked her.
Didn't I think that was probably her real hair growing back?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what it was, because she was very much like Angelica Houston in Witches when she takes the wig off.
She wasn't quite as kind of scabby and boggin looking like, but
I know. I felt like the true beauty of these women was shown even in the parts that you would expect it not to be. Yeah.
Mhm.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I actually, there's a small cast, but every character done their best at making you. Here, that last for the Goonies is in there, right? You know exactly what one I'm talking about.
I know exactly what one you're talking about. I have to admit, when I first seen her, I wasn't quite sure. What chromosomes were going on. I wasn't quite sure which chromosomes were going on, but we got to find out a bit later on. So,
and she was always raging as well. Like, it's interesting to watch a film where you're not necessarily introduced to the reasoning behind the way that certain people feel, right?
well, look, you made me yawn, man. A contagious yawn.
Sorry, man.
I think when you look at her upbringing, look at who her mother was, you're probably going to be quite uptight about stuff.
Well, she was quite sound to begin with as well.
To begin with, it's a facade.
Well, when did everything change? Because she picked up a duck, and the duck's like, "Oh, so it must have been your fault then that the duck went mental."
Got a frog in it.
Aye, like what? Like the reasoning for saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're cursed." Oh, aye, and that other wee lassie fell off the thing, but it was her own fault because she was out her tits.
Aye, and her tits were out.
And she fell. Like, right, imagine that. Imagine you wake up, right, and this is all going on. Not that this is an actual scene from it, right? But here's a wee thing. Imagine you wake up and all this is going on, and you're like that, and they're like, burn her, and you wake up and you're like that. Like, whoa, man, what happened? Your head's all bloodied, right? Your head's all bloodied, and you're like, what's going on? And everybody's around you like, don't worry, Jay Mack, we burnt her, right? You're like, what are you talking about? The witch that threw you off the cliff. It's like, mate, I'm 12 deep. I fell, and by which point the lassie's already up in flames. Like that's the reality of it. Eh? Like a really good night out could turn.
That's a shame. She was really nice.
I liked her, Melanie. The thing is, like that could could happen. Imagine going on like a right good bender, waking up the next day, and one of your buddies is getting proper like melted to a stick for witchcraft. That was a fucking bloody.
I mean, what did you do last night?
How? Because Marty's getting burnt at the stake. Marty's getting burnt at the stake. We must have done something.
Oh, it was fucking one he is.
Man, that's quite funny. Again, like one of the things I love about the setting of this film is the fact that it kind of felt like I'd like to go there, wherever that is, and exist within that in a different time, maybe, where we know that witches are no real. Well, they're real, but they're no kind of cast a type of spells. I would like to go to a time where that exists. You know?
Yeah.
Without the burning and all that. In fact, it'd be funny, eh? It'd be like, J-Mac's a witch.
That's exactly what you would do as well. You'd be a few too deep. You'd be like, you put a frog up a duck's bum.
Not like that, but like, watch. Would a witch be able to fart enter Sandman? Show them they're like that. His farts are musical, up in the steak.
It was an accident.
It
It was a happy accident. I'll give you that, but it was definitely an accident.
Yeah. Right? Imagine that. Mate, it'd be so easy to get you burnt as a witch. Easy.
Aye.
Far too easy.
It's nice to know I've made an impression on the world, you know?
So where's Jay Mack? Up there. It's getting up the night. I'd get you down, don't worry, I'd get you down.
Here, guys, I was only joking.
No, I'd proper like just cut you down at a certain point, but like, right, J Mac, game's there, you can't stay here.
You'd at least wait until my feet were fried and then be like, ah! Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, J Mac, you can't live here anymore. They all think you're a witch. I've let you go, so you'll need to leave town.
So why did they all think I was a witch again, Kevin? Oh, I might have just said he's a witch. Sorry about that.
There's a sketch in there, isn't there? There's a sketch in there.
Let me start off with you going, you know, it'd be funny. You know, it'd be funny.
There was a scene in Game of Thrones that was quite similar to that. And it's like, I remember Theon, I can't remember what series it was, but Theon met an old lady and she's like, here, I'll help you and all that. Just didn't tell anybody I'm helping you, all right? Literally, the next scene was her, like, in a bed of fire. Because Theon had grasped. She's like...
Good old Theon, eh? What a dick. That's ironic.
I know. Thanks, Theon. Imagine just going like that, like, you know, the Jim and Carrey Dumb and Dumber laugh. Ah! It's like, get up, I'm just kidding. Get up, I'm just kidding. Just for the bants. Hey,
You okay, man? It was just a goof.
The smoke sizzling for your fucking charcoal body.
Sitting there like that.
Oh, what you like?
No tongue or nothing. Just like, what do you like?
What you like?
Oh, that's good.
Can't shake him anywhere, man.
Sitting there, fried to fuck.
And you're sitting there going, wasn't me?
Fried to fuck, but still in good spirits. So could take a joke. I might have just been fucking burnt, but I can take a joke. Although be accused of not being able to take a joke.
I'll get you back, Landy. I'll get you back. You'll know how and you'll know when, but I'll get you back.
That's a film in its own right.
Just pranks that get out of hand progressively.
Okay, you mate. That's a film waiting to happen. A wee anthology. It just jokes that were taken far too far. Right? I'll get you back.
sitting there at the stake, and they're going, Kev, are you sure he's a witch? He's saying he's no. And you're like, aye, definitely, aye. And they get the Zippo out. You're like, I'm only joking.
I'll get you back. That's fucking. I don't know if I can watch this film again. In all good conscience now. There's intertwining stories. Feels like there's a lot going on, but yet something so simple as well. What about the trippy scene? I didn't bring up any screenshots. However, you may have saw it in the trailer we played at the start. People just get naked and they're traditions, mate. If I catch you, imagine that.
Aye. Where'd they film this again? Asking for a friend.
Slovakia. So it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to learn to run all year round for that one day. Make a beeline. I don't got to run faster than you. I just got to outrun these guys. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know if that's a real tradition. It'd be interesting. As Ginny says, I'm cracking up because of you two. It got me a fair one there, Ginny's. I'll get you back. Unable to move. I'll get you back.
A wee joystick. What do you like, man?
Looks like somebody'd be sitting in Beetlejuice's waiting area. That's an anthology. That's an anthology waiting to happen, isn't it?
Looks like I'm next.
Oh God. I really enjoyed Nightsiren. And I'm really happy that we are...
You come right up to me, you're on my deathbed, you're like, it's funny though.
Imagine you getting burnt, you look down now, you can see me doing this. I laughing my fucking head off.
That's what you get for bending my wing mirror back.
Take my DVD and no return it, aye.
Oh, man.
Yeah, up there like this. No, I swear I'm not a witch. And I'm like, that's quite funny. Eh? Just see me in the back.
It's very dark, but it's pretty funny. Eh?
Laughing my head off, knowing that you're not.
Standing at my funeral, arms crossed in front of you, going. Saying to the guy next to you, "Well, witch, by the way, just never return my DVD."
Tell him I'd get him back.
De-escalation isn't your strong point.
That's always often been said about me, that like there's no point entering in a to and throw, because if you throw a water balloon at me, I'm likely to egg you, and then whatever you do, it gets worse.
Ends up in an acid attack.
You look like the boy for RoboCop. I'm like,
this is getting way out of hand.
Oh man,
There's a clip to be made out of this.
I know. You know, like, you don't laugh like this during this film, so I feel like if you've had any...
Did you laugh when she bumped her sister off the cliff? I had a feeling
No.
You might have chuckled. No, like mine went later on when it shows you the flashback and you actually see her fall. You're like, I thought that'll make Kevin laugh because he's a sick puppy.
Usually it does, man, but no, that didn't, for some reason. Just the same as you, I kind of felt a bit like, oh, that's not good. Just throwing her off a cliff, that's not good. And it was worse because the wee lassie, what makes it worse for me is the wee girl just wanted to be with her sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She wanted to come with her. And that's what made it. Like a boy getting blown up in Predator, that's hilarious. Oops. You know what I mean?
That's the only guy in the cinema going,
It's just the way it happens.
And I don't know if any of you have noticed this about Kev. He does not have a subtle laugh. Like, if I found something funny that wasn't meant to be funny, I can control myself enough to go, not Kev. No. He basically jumps out his seat and runs to the back row, points at the screen and goes,
Mate, do you know what's funny? I was doing interviews for new cinema staff up in Arbroath, right? And Connie...
Wait, you need them now because you just popped half of them.
Exactly, right? But Connie, the woman that we put as the new manager, she's doing a good job, right? But I'm sitting at the other end of the table and I'm like that, looking at her like that, right? She knows I'm looking at her for that reason. And every time she goes to me, like she was a bit unsure. They're like, someone was asking, "Oh, so what about this?" And Connie didn't really know, right? So she's like, "Yeah, Kevin." And I go, "Oh no, what? You've got this." So I kept putting it back to her, right? But there's a point where I was just looking at her like that, and she's talking to the person, right, that she's interviewing, and I'm doing this.
Couldn't imagine going into an interview panel and you being on it. Man, if I ever end up in that point in life, just fucking end it.
Mate, well, the thing is, I'm looking at Connie like this, and as she's talking to the lassie, she's just like, yeah, and she just passes herself laughing, right? There was also another one. I can't actually tell you, because I said to her, "Oh, there's someone out there who kind of looks like this," right? And when I described what the person looked like, she was now sitting with this person and talking. If in nowhere, just burst out laughing and went, "I just remember what you said," right? While the person was there, and I'm like, "What did I say?" And she told me after, but I'll tell you later. It's so funny. And
Please don't forget that, right? Put a pin in this one.
I will. But the purpose is it's always just fun. It's always fun. Laughter is the medicine for the heart. So I always try and start. And you know what? Great bunch of interviews because everybody had a good time. We laughed with each other. You know what I mean?
The staple of any good interview is having a good laugh, isn't it?
Yeah.
If The Apprentice has taught me anything.
Here's the thing. We all had it was a good, because I said, I was just like, let's break this. I was like, let's break this. All right. Denny sitting there. I'm not going to ask you any star method questions. Just want to get to know you and what your work ethic's like. So I broke down that and became personal straight away. And it got quite funny. One person said she thought I was 25.
Aye. You've not got, I don't know how, but you've not got a bit of grey on you. You've not got a wrinkle in your face yet.
No, I do. The side of my hair, and this goes gingery for some reason.
Wait, you've got
my
hair?
face is wrinkly. Fuck. Aye, look at my face.
You've not lost hair; it just fell down.
See, my face is wrinkly as fuck, man. I look at my face every day, and I'm like, man, you used to be so young, like 15 years ago. That's just how life works. Janice says that's how I get through life, laughing. You've got to. If you didn't laugh, you'll greet. You'll greet.
Absolutely. Aye.
Yeah, would Nightsiren make anybody cry?
I was close, but I think it was just through shock more than sadness.
Was it really Lassie falling off the cliff?
It really did hit me in the guts, man.
It was a saying.
Because like losing a sibling isn't easy, regardless of what the circumstances are, right?
Mm.
But if it was you that did it by accident, I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine how that must feel.
That would be quite shitty. Like everybody's like, "Oh, your sibling did that. It was your fault," and that going on in your head as well, eh? That would be quite shit. Yeah. What about the part in this film where she's just in the woods skiing at all the party, right? Just chilling. Somebody comes right up, right, and he just rips her hair off and leaves her bald.
I then dukes her in the face with the butt of a rifle. So thanks, pal.
And then she wakes up, so it's not even like anything was done. Do you know what I mean? How out of order was that? Just to go up and rip somebody's hair off? Like, did he even have any reason to do so?
That was him going, right, there's two ways this can play out. I can pull her hair, and if it sticks, I can go, ha, I got you. Or if it comes off, I can go, she's a witch, and duke her in the face with a fucking rifle.
Yeah, but then leave her. Like, nothing happened. She just got up. I was like, that was fair.
It's like a warning. It's like they were giving the witch chances just to piss off, just to leave. Because they did say to her a number of times, you need to leave, make sure you leave. And she never left. She was stubborn. I mean, a stubborn woman. Who fucking knew? Eh?
That's just like something a witch would do, right? What was with the snakes as well? like it did kind of leave you going, is this person a witch or are they not?
Well, that's what's good about this film, is it is ambiguous. It does make you like. I'm sure we said it relatively recently about another film. It's good when a film leaves you asking questions. When a film has got a definite ending, it can work, right? But for certain types of films, having an ambiguous ending where you're not quite sure exactly what's going on, 9 times out of 10, it's an artistic decision. It's not bad writing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
felt as
Like,
well.
it's to leave you thinking,
Mhm.
maybe she actually was a witch.
Yeah, maybe they had a point.
Aye.
You know, I felt that the main actress, I don't know if you can see her face there in the back, it's maybe not from this picture, but you know the actor, is it Aaron Taylor Johnson? The guy that he was
Kicker.
in. Yeah. So have you seen him recently?
He's quite beardy and hairy.
Aye, but take that away and feminize him. I believe that the main actress had a similar look to him. I think she. I'm just preparing an image to bring up that will absolutely have you going, I see it, right? And I kept seeing that through the film and thought, like, if you told me this was his sister, I'd 100% believe you. But she's Slovakian, and I don't think he is. So
No, he's English.
yeah, exactly. So for that reason, and I didn't. Obviously, I thought, but you know, it's strange how in life, like, two people can be very similar facially, and yet not be any. Like,
I'm thinking about it now, and
all.
I can't really see what you're talking about. You will need to bring it up so I can visualize it.
So you genuinely don't see it in your head. That's because you're too busy staring at our boobies.
They were quite nice. He was stubborn for good
Right,
reason.
you ready for it? You ready for it? Here we go. Aaron Taylor Johnson. Here we go. Tell me you see it. Come on.
No.
You don't see that.
No.
You're talking. You're
No.
talking rubbish.
No, I love a good celebrity lookalike, man. If I believed it, I would say.
Well, I'm gonna have to now go and get an Aaron Taylor Johnson image, just so you can see it, because it definitely is there, 1,000,000%. You couldn't see it at all.
No. She's white and
Genuinely?
got brown hair.
Nah. Right, I'm gonna screen share so I don't have to prepare another image. Right. Here we go. Screen share. Imagine the actress was on this, and I'm like, "Here, do you ken who you look like?"
A guy.
You're telling me you don't see that. You're telling me you don't see that.
I'm telling you, I don't see it.
You sure?
I'm sure.
No one else at home watching sees this. There's definitely a resemblance. Come on. You're off your head, mate.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
I
it.
see it. That's what. Oh, I don't know. I think you're just saying that to disagree with.
See, I don't do that. I don't do that, man. I'm a good person.
I don't. You can go to arrowplayer.com. You can actually go to www.arrowstore and you can purchase this beautiful one thing you got is, let's give it up for Arrow, guys at Arrow, by the way, guys and girls at Arrow, because they really know how to package a film.
Yeah,
How
definitely.
beautiful is the Quarks box set we got? And
Is that another poster with that as well?
yeah, and I believe that'll probably have a reversible cover.
Nice.
Look at it. I actually, like, the collector in me, I'm like, oh no. I feel myself like I already have a good Arrow collection, right? But over the last few years now, they've started to bring out, and they're doing it in a specific way.
I've got an idea for Arrow.
Uh-huh.
They should bring out a quiver that you can store all your Arrow DVDs in.
Oh, mate.
How
Danny.
cool would that be? It's like, here's all my Arrow films, and they're in a quiver. You know what a quiver is, don't you?
I think you keep arrows in.
Just making sure. Just checking in, buddy.
But they wouldn't fit, though. They wouldn't fit.
A fucking big quiver.
It would look quite weird, though. It would look quite weird.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Shut up.
Yeah, so it doesn't work for me, so I'm out. They do such good packages, and the reason I say that is because if you want to get closer to a film, you get the Arrow edition because it comes jam packed. Every time I've ever got anything, like what's funny is while being friends with the guys like Gary Smart, the guys at Deadmau5, I've owned DVDs that's had their documentaries that I've watched before I even knew it was them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting talking to Gary. I'm like, cool.
It's funny.
He's like,
a few weeks ago, I got a text message off a guy I used to work with at Sky.
uh-huh.
And he was like, mate, I know you're into films. Said, there's a great new RoboCop documentary called RoboDoc. Make sure you watch it. I was like, mate, I seen it before it came out. Had the guys on my podcast.
Aye. It's crazy, like, because I actually was talking to Gary. I was like, mate, I can't believe you actually love Return of the Living Dead. I love it. Not a lot of people love it, right? I do. And he was like, oh yeah, I love it. And I'm like, I've got this class edition. And then I look at the bottom and it's like, includes documentary by Gary Smart. I'm literally sitting talking to him about this DVD that I've got, thinking that he'll be like, oh, that's a class DVD. And it's the Arrow edition, and it has his documentary on it.
Yeah.
I've got Class of Nukem High, right? Just all the old stuff, man. This is why I can't stress enough for the price of a coffee. In fact, coffees are even more expensive. Get your free trial, and then let it roll on. $4.99. Look at that. And that's just some of what you can get at the Arrow Player.
Mate, did we ever do the review for Bleep?
No, because we never got talent for it. But Bleep was phenomenal.
Right. We never had talent. I knew that. Going in.
Oh, man. We were doing the short film specials. I'd love to talk about it because that was so good. One of the highlights of the short films was Bleep.
Mm-hmm. And the guys wearing a fucking Flash Gordon t-shirt. You just can't argue with that stuff.
No, that was phenomenal. It was one of the only ones that we never actually got round to because we never had the people in to chat about it. But I would love to talk about it because it was fucking excellent. That's another thing on the Arrow Player is you can get short films. Netflix doesn't have short films.
Yeah, short films are a great way to pass time. Like, see if you've got an hour till it's time to go to bed, but you don't want to just watch an episode of Still Game again or something. Short films are a great way to pass the time, and you see talent that you would never see otherwise.
Yep.
So get the short films watched because there's so many short films that have got so much potential to become something more. And that's essentially what short films are. It's a showcase for what you can provide as an artist, as a filmmaker.
It's a calling card.
Aye, and some of them are fucking amazing. My favourite one, still, unfortunately, this isn't on Arrow, so I apologise for that. My favourite one still was an Irish short film about a farmer and his brother with Down syndrome, and it's the sweetest, funniest wee film you'd ever see. An Irish Goodbye. That's what it's called. An Irish Goodbye. I recommend that to anybody. It's 20 minutes long and it's so sweet and funny. And yeah, it's something. I think I showed it to about 9 people.
You never showed it to me. You fucking dick.
I can never see you, man.
You see me every week.
On here. It's not the same, man. I feel like I know you through COVID.
It's because we lived so far apart. You're out in Glasgow, but we're gonna get together really soon and do some in-person podcasts. Which brings me to my next thing. Good friends of ours over at Square Go Films, Beans and the gang, Ian and Sandy, have started their own podcast, which has been a long time coming. I had said they should always do that, and I hope to see this prosper and keep going. This here is Square Go Films and the Square Go Films podcast, where they talk about filmmaking. We've got a rock star. We've got, they're film students that have gone on to make features. Ian's made, there's 2 I know of at least, which is Subterranean, and his new one coming out, which is it's because of the name of it. The name of it. It was just there a second ago. The Goodman, which looks great, animatronics and all that. If you love films, you love rock and roll, you love good conversation, and you want to know what it's like to make films and have touring them across the world, go on and check it out. The first episode just dropped yesterday at 7 p.m. and it's not a live show, but it's an in-person one. And go and show them support. Hit subscribe. It won't be long until they're kicking ass and bringing
Taking
in
names.
the views and taking names, exactly. So check them out. Go to Square Go Films. It looks like this on YouTube. That's where they currently reside. Go like them, follow them, show them support, give them love. What else was I going to say?
Have we not got a wee thing coming up on Monday?
That's right. Monday. This is Monday.
Next Monday.
Oh,
Next
aye.
Monday.
Yes, we're going to go and check out Ryan Hendrick, who was on our show. He has a film called The Bench, and we probably talk about it. We'll take some. I've got a wee harness there, mate. I put a GoPro here, and I can walk about, and maybe we'll do some footage and get some interviews when we're there. But The Bench is a screening in Glasgow. I don't know if it's open to everybody, but I will find out. And on the next episode of Jibber Jabber Podcast, I'll tell you all about it.
Does that not feel really nice to say, though? We're going to something, but we don't know if it's open to everybody. That's nice to say. We might have exclusive access to something, which is fucking awesome.
Well, it's a cast and crew and friends screening. So we're the and friends. We're always invited to premieres down in London, which sucks because we're too far away. And married and stuff. So unless it was like the new Indiana Jones films, it'd be really hard for us to justify it to the wife. We need to be like, see, I've loved Neverending Story forever, and this is a new one, and we've been invited. That's how it usually goes.
If we got invited to a Neverending Story premiere in London, I'd be fucking going.
Mate,
even
I'd
though
park Falcor on your drive.
I know it would be shite.
Oh, probably. But I'd park Falcor on your drive. You'd be getting on, and we'd be like, yeah.
No, don't leave him in my driveway, man. Murray goes out there every morning to go to school. I don't trust that fucking dragon around kids. I really don't.
He's a luck dragon. His name is Falcor.
I like children. Do not sound clip that.
That is getting sound clapped, and I'll be bringing that up on the show. We are also going to be looking at another short film, which was a fella reached out. I'm just bringing up the details now, which I'm quite looking forward to. Quite a lot of people have been reaching out to us recently, which is really cool.
Yeah,
to do a lot of different stuff. And one that has, I'm just trying to remember where it is. The fella's called Ian Mantani. There's a G in there. I'm terrible at writing this shit. And he has a really cool film, a short film called it's on Alter, and it's called Nose Picker. It looks amazing. I've chosen not to watch it yet because I like to do it closer to the time. But we're going to have him on probably the first week in July because he's traveling. But he reached out. If you want to go ahead and go to YouTube and look up a film called Nose Picker, it's on the Alter YouTube. Go do that, watch it, so that when he comes on the show, you can come on and chat with us and ask your questions about his short film. It'd be cool to see that land on Arrow if it's any good, because that's where all the best stuff is. And I think that's all the plugging that we can plug tonight, right? I heavily
all the plugins done. Let's go play.
I heavily encourage you to get the Arrow player if you don't already. It's available everywhere. If you've got a Fire Stick, chuck it up. Some TVs probably have it. You can use it just on the browser. There's an app. Go get it. Watch all the good stuff, because we watch all the good stuff and we talk about it here on the show. It's jam-packed full of all the great stuff. The stuff that my granny had in her cupboard on VHS that I was far too young to watch and shouldn't have been watching. It's all there, right? Yeah, what better endorsement for the show than that, eh?
Kudos to your granny, by the way, because most grannies had stuff like Murder, She Wrote in video.
Right? Mate, I still have the actual
And they were in the video boxes that looked like books. You remember them?
Yes. The black and gold.
Black and gold, or they were
Brown.
like a green
brown.
and black or red.
Red
They looked like old encyclopedias or something.
Here, There's an Arrow edition, mate. See if we ever like really become a huge podcast. I would reach to Arrow and go, guys, the Jibber Jabber edition, and it'll just look like those old tapes you tape off the telly. Oh, mate.
Even if that was the case and the DVD was inside it.
Of course. Like
cool.
you open the case and you get a better edition with a reversible cover and all that stuff.
Not a DVD, a Blu-ray at least. It's going to be a
By
Blu-ray.
then it'll be a 4K. I've got a few that look like VHSs, but then you open them. I've got the Frighteners and Ready Player One, and they look like, but they come with all different bits. Open it up and it comes with books. The Ready Player One comes with like, Ghostbusters badges and all that stuff. I could sit and talk about physical media for hours, right? To the point where I'm like, I've got no space and still so many DVDs I want. So
I'm shited at watch. Oh, I've got Halloween on DVD. It's an 18 and it's no in there. Sorry about that.
No, that's quite gash. That's quite gash.
Sorry, I know where it is.
As long as you know what it is. I've got DVDs everywhere, and they're coming.
It was there.
Yeah, another edition of Titanic. This one's a four disc, and it's got the James Cameron stuff on it and all that.
A 4-disc edition of Titanic.
And I've already got several different editions of it. Like, if you can't collect all my Titanic editions, it's quite a lot.
Were you the type of guy that admitted when you were younger that you liked Titanic, or is it a newfound appreciation and
No,
love?
I've always liked it, but I always made it clear that I don't like it just because of love story. And as you get older, you start to appreciate that a wee bit more. But no, I've got a right thing about it. And do you know what? I saw a phenomenal edition, and it wasn't of the Titanic film; it was of Titanic, like the Titanic, and it was like a history release box set. I didn't get it. I talked myself out of it. I thought, Kev, you've got no space, and everybody's going to think you're a weirdo that always buys Titanic stuff, man. Looking around me, I can see. Did I show you the National Day?
Sorry, did you see the bouncy castle? It was shaped like the sinking Titanic. Well, you know, you get those inflatable slides. It was that. It was a half-sunk Titanic, and it was an inflatable slide at a fucking fairground or something. I was like, that's so messed up.
I know. Or what? Did you watch Britain's Got Talent? With the guy singing, and he was dressed as the Titanic. He was singing "My Heart Will Go On," but he was singing it like weird, right? He was like a ladyboy, and then at one point he goes like that, and he turns in into an iceberg, and like everybody's falling and all that, and the judges are like, ha ha, and I'm like,
I never seen that.
I was like, let's do 9/11 next. Let's do 9/11 next.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Like, I just thought, no taste whatsoever, mate. Like Amanda Holden, like howling, and I'm like, it's not funny. It's not funny at all.
What, too soon?
No, I just think for what it is. Do you know what I mean? It was just an absolute mockery of it, and it wasn't even talent. It wasn't
just
even
bad.
talent.
It's bad taste. It's bad
taste. If I'm telling you it's bad taste, you've really got a fucking problem, right? Because I can laugh at almost anything. That was just
I know shit.
Exactly. So if I'm saying it, you know, you're
Jordan's getting his feet melted. Folly the winter.
You only lost a finger. Do you know? Before we wrap up,
still got 9.
Before we wrap up, right? This was an actual conversation I had back when I was like 18. I worked in a kitchen, right? And I remember there was these sprays, right, to clean an oven, right, big industrial oven, and the sprays you had to wear gloves because if you put if it touches your skin, you feel it and it starts to burn, right? Anyway, I remember my mate Callum came round the corner trying to spray me with something while I was spraying this into the oven, and I didn't think like that. I turned round straight into him, right? Something went in his eyes and all. He's like screaming, right? Anyway. That's one wee story, right? Later on that day, I remember having a different detergent thing that I was spraying the tables with. And one of the lassies, Kirsty, who used to just like greet about everything, right? She came up, and I can't remember what she'd done. She'd done something to annoy me. I turned around and went, and it barely even splashed into her eyes. And she's like, and I remember saying to her, like, come on, hen. I says, I just sprayed Callum in the eyes with actual oven cleaner, and he only screamed for about 10 minutes. You've been going on. You've been going on for about fucking 3 years, and barely like it's like fucking
So
tap water.
it's Mr. Sheen. Fucking calm down.
Callum only screamed for 10 minutes.
So it's toilet duck. Ducks are cute. Fucking shut up.
Callum only screamed for 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? That's the bar. He got the real Sayre stuff in his eyes and only screamed.
Mate, I'm
for 10
so
minutes.
glad I don't work with you in a 95 anymore. I don't work with you in the same corporation that isn't our own thing anymore.
You're lucky there's a screen between us, you can.
Aye, I was going to say, I'm lucky this is done remotely. Every day I'd come into a different fucking prank.
Even then, I still get you.
Oh, mate, watch the clip from the American Office. A Jim swapping out Andy's chair.
Is it you and me?
It's you and me. 100%. I saw it the other day. I was fucking howling. I was laughing so hard. Like, it's a funny scene anyway, but because of the context, I was crying laughing in my car watching it on my break at work. Because it played out exactly the same. It's like he comes back from his break, it's like sits down, he's like and he's like and then he just throws a proper rager.
That's exactly what happened, man. So you got to see it from my perspective then?
Well, the thing is, Jim wasn't quite as much of a dick as you. Jim, like, he thought it was funny to start with, but then when he threw a rager, he was like, oh, fuck, maybe I went too far. You were just like...
I remember other folk then started to eventually be in on the joke with me and be like, no, I've not seen none. And I specifically recall, right, because where I would fuck with your seat, right, you'd come back to, and the thing is, see, once your good seat's gone, you're never getting it back. Like, nobody was getting you that back. You knew to be like, just a joke. Here's your good seat back. Give me back that terrible one.
The only clue was there might be some guy that started his shift like this. You come back, you break, and he's like this.
Exactly.
And it's you.
But here's the thing: I had a class seat. I always had a class seat, right? But see, when I took your good seat, right, and I put all I'd do is the daft seats that were all burst and scheme off. They were just sitting. Nobody wanted them. So the minute I switched it, folk would go, "There's a good seat," and you know what it was like? It was like piranhas to meat, mate. It'd be gone, right? So I'm like, that's Jay Mack's seat away.
It's like the video you seen of the guy, the folk waiting outside the warehouse doors for Asda for the reduced stuff. It was like that. Aye.
The minute a good seat was there, they could smell it. So it's gone in seconds, right? So I gave you the daft, crazy, broken seat, right? And this is how it would play out. I'd sit there like that. And at the time, we were wearing these suits, and I'd have a mask pre-COVID, right? So this is all you'd see of me is this, right? So if I'm laughing my head off, I'm like that. Right? But what I do is just try and play it cool while still laughing. So I'm just like this, right? So you could mask it, right? Now, I would see you walk back because you took regular toilet breaks, shock horror, right? And as I'd see you walk back towards your seat, I'm like, right, compose yourself. As you're at the eye shot, I'm like, this is going to be class. I'd sit up like that. So if you would turn around, you'd see just me, like, staring there, watching you, right? Staring over the counter. You go, I see you on like this. You acknowledge the seat, then you're looking around, right? Who's done this? You get a good wee look, you're like, that can't be anybody here. You attempt to sit in it, you're like, nah. Before you know it, you're throwing it about the place, screaming and shouting, right? And then there would come that point where you'd go at and look up halfway up the fucking place, looking at where I was positioned, which to any normal person wouldn't look that far back. But you're like, no, if he's here, then there's a chance. At this point, I'd be like, right? And I'd be, here he comes. And as I'm sitting like this, I'm like, compose yourself. And you would try and play it cool. You'd walk up and come right next to me. Kevin, did you move my seat? And I'm like, oh, seat? No, I've just been, right? You're like, you don't believe me, but you don't have anything to prove it was me. So at that point, you're just like, nah, I'll go back down. But you proper flaked out. And I remember doing that to you. You fucking managed to get a good seat back. Went away for another toilet break. Came back, seat was gone again. And I mind you just fucking flipping. Twice! fucking twice to the point where everybody's watching you freak out. They would just laugh so much. They just laugh so fucking much, and I'd just sit there reveling in it, like, yes, man, fucking yes.
Man, if that company was still a thing, I would definitely take them on a bullying tribunal with you, fucking trailing at my arse.
I mind that time you sat in a pin.
I'm padded, mate. Didn't affect me.
But you know, the thing is, I've probably forgot more pranks than I'll ever remember.
Hey, you're a total prick.
Nah, it's all in good humour.
It's on good humour in your fucking head. That's the problem. Everybody else is sitting there like, that's out of order, man. Kev sitting there like,
Did I tell you my Bobby Reindeer thing?
no.
Again, we'll end it on another high. I went out for the wife's dad's birthday dinner, right? And I'm not pissed around it because I was driving, so I have no beer, right? So Matthewman that day had created a baby reindeer poster, but he put Bobby for still game in it. We recall this, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was excellent, right? Went away for a pee. I walk into the toilet in this place, right? Place is quiet, nobody's in the bathroom. So I go into a cubicle to pee, and I'm peeing, right?
Oh, wait, I do know this story, but do tell.
And I'm like, in my head, just like bored. I'm like, I'm peeing, but bored, right? And it's echoey. You're like,
Wait,
oh,
only you with your mad ADHD can get bored during a piss, which lasts no longer than a minute. You're like, this is 15 seconds. I'm bored in my piss.
So I'm just like, I started going, Bobby Reindeer. What if I said it, but like how Isa would say it? And I'm like this, out loud in the bathroom while peeing, Bobby Reindeer, Bobby Reindeer. And I'm like, nah, that's no good. Bobby Reindeer, Bobby Reindeer. And I kept doing it until I got what I believed to be the perfect Bobby Reindeer. Bobby Reindeer. And then I remember just like going to wash my hands and walking at the cubicle and there's dudes sitting there going, what the fuck?
They were expecting Happy Gilmore's caddy to walk out of that fucking cubicle.
It's just like, are you alright? Oh, sorry, I didn't think there was anybody out there, you know. Bobby Reindeer. Like, that's not even a thing, man. But quite embarrassing, but nonetheless.
Oh,
These are
man.
the type of things that.
See, if it wasn't for this, the risk of getting sued, I'd love to have that crazy wee bastard on here.
Which one?
The one for Baby Reindeer. That what's her fucking face? The real Martha. Oh man, that'd be
she's
hilarious.
suing everybody right now. She's suing everyone.
Aye.
Stay out her way. Not only that, you might have her on the show and she takes a liking to you before you know it.
Aye,
Mel's
there
got
she
hair
is.
ripped out of
In
his-
fact, I think that's her there.
Say her name and she appears.
Fucking hell, that was quick. Well done, hen.
Very good. Aye, so we've got a film that we still need to watch. Our screener ran out for it. Sorcery. We never got a chance to review it because we never got a chance to watch it because we watch it fairly close to the episodes, so it's fresh in our mind because we have to watch so many films, right? And I know for a fact that like I don't get to watch as much films as I'd love to, and I still probably watch more than the average person. But because we have to watch so much, to keep it fresh means you can talk about it in more depth. So we meant to watch it. It had expired. So we need to sort that out, and we will bring that to you at a later date. It looks class. And stay tuned. We'll keep knocking these out. Make sure, again, to go and subscribe to the Arrow Player. It is not expensive at all. And for what you get, I mean, come on, man. Support Arrow. So yes, thank you very much to Arrow and all the fine folks at Fetch for giving us Nightsiren. I'm very glad I watched it. I very much rate it and might buy the edition because it looks so good.
What'd you give it out of 10?
Just, I say 6, and that's not. I don't look at that as that's a bad thing. I say a 6, just because for me, I liked it. This is the hard thing. I just felt like, I don't know, a lot of unanswered questions for me. Maybe just the way it left me feeling wasn't like, oh, I need to see more of that. I would have liked it to be a bit more like story told. You know,
A bit more cut and dry.
I felt like it just left and was like, oh, who cares if the story's not finished? Like, what happened to Otela? What happened to her? Like, why did you all decide to kick her in? We never saw that part. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So for that kind of thing, right? But again, that's not a slight on it. It was good. Go watch it. What was your?
6.5.
So not so far off.
Aye, 6.5. Like it takes a lot to keep you engaged enough to watch an entire movie these days. Do you know what I mean?
Let alone one
Especially if it's something that you're not familiar with. Like we will all give passes to things like, oh, there's a new Indiana Jones. Even if it's crap, you will watch it to the end. Just for clarity, I didn't think the new Indiana Jones was crap. I thought it was 10 times the film the previous one was, right? But when it comes to original stuff, it has to keep you engaged, and that film did. So that's for me. It gets an automatic 6 for that, and an extra 0.5 for the boobs. So we're all good.
Aye, that's good. Matthewman says solid 4 from me. Just know my bag, I'm afraid. See, that's it. A 4 is great. Then if it's not your bag, a 0 should essentially be what you give it. But the fact you give it a 4 and it's not your bag, that's a pretty solid 4. Yeah.
It goes to show you though, like we're just people, right? We're no film critics. We just talk about films for a laugh, really, and we happen to have fun doing it. For the critics that do it for a living, it's still just subjective. It's still just what their taste is.
Totally.
So you can't judge anything by what anybody says about it. You just have to see it for yourself, and that's it.
Well, sometimes if somebody says, "Oh, that movie was fucking shite," like some of my favorite films, that's what's mostly said about them. I love It Follows, which, by the way, there's a phenomenal edition out there I need to get. Even though I've got it on Blu-ray, there's a phenomenal edition and I need to get it. I think it's Arrow as well. I think it's Arrow, but I love that film. I thought it was fucking excellent, and everybody's like, "Oh, shite! That was so shite." I'm like, when I thought Hereditary was fucking excellent. It was pish. No, it wasn't pish. It was scary as fuck.
But those films have been those have been actually quite well critically received. As the audiences that are saying they're shite. As the critics are saying that's good.
Yeah. If I'm in a room, right, with 10 folk, majority of them, when I mention some of my favourite films, shite, and Hereditary, they're going to say that about it, 1,000,000%.
I thought both of them were shite, but we'll talk about that at a later date.
No, I disagree with you, man. I disagree with you, but again, that is a later date conversation. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in on a Monday. I know this is a busy week for everybody. It's a busy week, regardless of what week it is. And Monday's a school night, so thank you for choosing to spend your night with us. Do support Arrow. Do support all these independent filmmakers. These are going to be the guys that bring cinema back to its once grandiose position. That's always been the case. Our cult classics were always done with low budgets and a great imagination. So please keep supporting them. Keep supporting us. We'll keep supporting you. J Mac, anything you'd like to say before we hit the credit section?
Just never play cards with a guy that's got the first name. His first name is a city, and never trust a lady that's got a tattoo with a dagger on her body. Other than that, we're all good. And we'll see you next week.
Aye, on Sunday with Madman, another Arrow release.
Sounds like a fucking plan.
It looks class. It's in classic 1981. See you then.
Last word.
Bye.
Last word.
See you.
Dirty, rotten, last word and bastard.